Again, I mean, they've kind of just they competed at M5. Again, they lost to Team Little Gun, which Team Little Gun isn't in their group stage, so they got something to show here. You know, this is a new meta. Things have been, you know, changing up and swapping around. We've been seeing a lot of Claude being played on the field. We're kind of getting into the bans and picks here, though. Let's take a gander.
Meanwhile, Bavaria is getting picked for the first pick for Team RCC, and Nightmare Sports respond with immediately Arlot and plus one something. CC, by the way, being banned. Again, like super strong hero in other games being picked like every time is a problem hero. And being banned for a reason. And then Nolan, like what do you think about Nolan ban? Even though he got nerfed and now he don't have a Purify in his ultimate, still a dangerous hero being banned here and there.
Yeah, I mean, he still has his viabilities onto the playing field. He brings a lot of that backline just peel, you know. He's almost like Lancelot. He's able to get in there, utilize quite a bit of burst, and to be able to get out hopefully in time. So I like the ban. I like the Claude ban. We've been seeing CC pop off in the tournament, but we are seeing some new faces here. We got an Akai and a Paquito.
That's pretty good, Paquito. It's again like you can go with on X-Plane or on jungle, so it's like common things these days for teams do this kind of stuff. I call it like a fork in the draft. Like, I don't know why, but because it can go like different directions and you need to guess. I mean, fork is kind of not fitting this, but like whatever. And yeah, this is what might happen right now, because it seems like it's a jungle Paquito, but it might be explained swapped at the last second.
Yeah, I like the mobility that we're seeing from RCC. From Nightmare, we're seeing quite a few of the meta picks coming through, you know, getting the Arlot onto the field, getting the Lilia, as well as pairing up with the Minnow. Definitely a good combo here. We're seeing a lot of control in CC from the side of Nightmare, a little bit of that from RCC. Again, you were saying watch out for Troublemaker. I mean, he's got a mid lane that shines, right? A little bit into the mid to the late game. The Navaria can be a menace, clears lanes really fast, and I think is a great counter. Maybe not counter, but a great sustain to be able to go against the Lilia.
Yeah, it's always on the range, and Lilia can basically hit and yeah, and have a lot of burst damage to clear the lane fast. But actually, if Lilia knows what to do, she can maybe tank second skill of Navaria, don't let the clear lane and kind of pressure. I mean, we'll see. It depends on the personal skill, 1 versus 1 matchup.
True. The 1v1 in the mid is something I think we're gonna have to watch out for. The question I have is RCC, are they gonna, like, I know it's kind of like a tank jungle, but are we gonna be seeing the Paquito in the jungle, or are we gonna be seeing the Akai in the jungle?
Yeah, again, like, or we're gonna see Akai roam, and
exactly.
And jungle is not yet picked. Yeah, that's just, but you know, like a lot of times I saw this strategy being used, but it's actually not that effective. I mean, it gives you some advantage in the draft, but it's always comes down to execution. I mean, you can win draft 10 out of 10 and it will not result the win in the game, because in the game win results your execution, like how efficient are you, how you use your time effectively, how you hit your skills, how you're not doing mistakes. So this all good and stuff, but like don't tell much.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. I like the carry pickup from the side of Nightmare. Definitely a marksman that excels at taking out a little bit of the tankier heroes. So that actually might be a key indicator that we might see the Kai maybe going for more of the roam instead of the jungle. But we'll see. I mean, again, carries can go either way. They are going to be picking up. Yeah, so the Kai is probably going to be at the jungle aspect here. Paquito, EXP, Kaja, Roam, Bruno. So I like it. Again, it's going to come down to, like what you said, execution, the skill behind the players and these heroes. Can they execute it correctly?
But I really like Akai and Kaja combo because it's always gives you this like first strike advantage. You always can like threat the Divine Judgment and maybe kill somebody, and then you threat the heavy spin and maybe kill somebody, and you potentially can start a fight with like 2 kills. Oh, but the Barat's pick is solid here. The damage build, no tanky items, maybe 1. And trying to play as assassin on the X plane. That's my expectation.
I like it. I like it, but we're going to be getting into Group C, the first match of the night. Nightmare Esports versus RCC. Who is going to bring the fire in this match here? As they have already started to engage. 30 seconds in. War Barbie, break down. What do you think their win conditions are here?
That's level 4 probably is going to get farmed pretty steady, I would say. There's their aggression right away. Paquito using his stacks on Minotaur, trying to get some pressure on the red buff here. Being punished by the Lilia, that's not the hero you want to invade against because of the amounts of damage she can output, and that's exactly what we can see here. Trying to flick in and to finish the kill, but no, low HP Kaja going out. Yeah, I mean, the game delivered straight away. What's about to happen?
It's definitely been a little fast-paced there, a little bit of an engage by the Kaja from the side of RCC. Putting on that pressure, I like. Look, we can already see the Too Easy is kind of invading the enemy jungle at this point. Again, I think it's going to come down to neutral objectives. Each player's kind of, you know, zoning pretty well, keeping it at bay. Where the rotations are going to lead is something that I want to keep an eye on, right? Because you can already see that the presence is around the turtle, which you would expect. But a little bit of an engage here in the mid lane. Who's going to secure this first turtle?
Yeah, there's a lot of chances to RCC to secure the turtle. Go on.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, whatever. Detona didn't quite deliver the ultimate here to dodge all of this. Way too fast jumping in with the first skill and the heavy spin, and about stun him into this like narrow angle, which is hard to do, and yeah, but still managed to make a kill and eventually get the turtle.
Yeah, I'm liking the tenacity behind RCC at this point. Great utilization of the heavy spin prior to the turtle spawning allowed RCC to just, you know, take that early pick into this mode, into this game, and that allowed them to secure the turtle uncontested. From the side of Nightmare Esports, we're going to have to see them turn a little bit of a tide and be a little bit aggressive, but you can kind of see they got to stay passive at this point, as carry's already having to go back, and the gold is definitely leading towards the side of RCC.
Yeah, it's a good start, and now RCC might snowball out of this, because if they pressure the buffs here or uses another ultimates on this time Divine Judgment probably, or even 2 ultimates to make 1 kill and secure the objective, it would be their next goal, I think. True.
And I mean, we can already see each team trying to fill each other out, trying to possibly get a pick. Again, the game is a little bit passive, kind of looking at some of the items. We do see Bruno picking up the Hawes Claws early on, utilizing that to get the sustainability up in the gold lane. And I think that's kind of where the carry's having a trouble here, right? The Bruno's able to sustain and keep himself sustained in the gold lane, and carry just doesn't have that aspect picked up just yet. And if it overextended, could be a problem for the side of Nightmare Esports. We do see Too Easy, heavy spin puts him against the wall, 3 collapse onto him. Are they able to secure the kill? They are. It's gonna keep going here. A little bit of a double kill action for the side of Nightmare. The heavy spin did excel, but 2 of them from the side of RCC fall.
Yeah, it's kind of like too tanky target, because Divine Judgment was forced to use right after heavy spin on the same exact target, and eventually resulted a kill for him, but the counter attack was there, eventually taking 2 of the RCC players again, and the turtle is probably gonna get to the side Nightmare now, but who knows.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's where the Arlot shines, right? Alongside the Divine Judgment and just being able to sweep them into that tower. I think they just, the heavy spin was way too close to home for Nightmare Esports, and they took advantage of that.
Yeah, and the turtle being farmed, the second skill of comes of Novaria, but not resulted anything, and the retribution is there, securing the turtle for Nightmare Esports.
Yeah, definitely. The tide's a little changing, leading towards the side of Nightmare Esports. They've definitely, I think that one engage in the middle has kind of gave them a little bit of a boost. We see a little bit of an engage here in the top tower. It was a good clear. I love how Troublemaker was able to utilize just his easy clear, right? He cleared that lane, kept it a bit at bay, but Castle gonna have a trouble here against 2-1 in the top.
Yeah, but RCC need to make work of this Divine Judgment and Heavy Spin as frequently as possible, because now they kind of don't kill anyone. I mean, okay, there's a try. Basic attacks not hitting the Barats here might be a problem for the RCC, surviving on a 1000 HP going out because of Bruno, and didn't result anything because Bruno was auto-attacking the wave instead of following the Barats.
Ooh, and I mean, one shot is doing a lot of damage. We do see the Retry coming out on the Lily, but is there going to be a follow-up by anybody else on his team? He's really doing everything by himself at this point. RCC is going to have to... I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a miscommunication on the team, but I think some proper call-outs need to be given. Nightmare Esports definitely taking advantage of those mistakes that RCC is bringing to this Land of the Dawn.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we didn't saw like good ultimates from Minotaur yet, and but Lilia is such a big factor. If Susol can play on the Lilia on expert level, he might carry the game on his own, because kinda it's a good setup for him.
True. We do see 4 rotating into the mid. We're gonna see a play here. One shot, trying to look for an advantage to take. First turtle's up. I wonder who's gonna initiate the engage. We see a conceal play on a Soul. Trying to get a little bit of an vision here. I'm not quite sure what they were gonna attempt. They're kind of just keeping him at bay right now. War Barbie. Who is gonna take this turtle? Heavy spin comes out onto JV. Is it gonna be anything? As looks like no, it's not. One shot, not able to secure a kill because of his team. No one's following up.
And the Divine Judgment comes on Barats, kind of wasted, but the castle is going up from the top lane and doing all the damage needed to finish up the Barats kill, but the top tower is being sacrificed for that. The turtle kill or the top tower. What do you think is better?
I mean, losing a tower is rough, but it equals out the playing field at this point. We do see a little bit of an invade happening here. RCC being aggressive against Nightmare Esports. We can kind of see that one shot's doing good. I like the aggression. I like the tenacity he's bringing here, but I need to see a little bit more of a follow-up from the side of RCC. Paquito doing a good job as well. You know, they traded the top tower and I mean the turtle, so we'll see. Kind of taking a look at some of these items though, War Bobby.
Yeah, the items are pretty standard, I would say. Like last game Minotaur, we saw the Flask of the Oasis being built with first item, which kind of surprised me. Like, you know, instead of tanky items, and now Minotaur goes for like this I call this a pieces build, because he don't build any solid item yet, and I'm not sure it's a good idea though to build like that.
True. I mean, we don't see a Flask of Oasis just yet. I mean, he's gonna need that for the sustainability. I think we're approaching the mid game, and I think that's kind of where that'll come into play, is that he'll have all these pieces and then he'll be able to put them together, right? And I think it'll stack up good for Nightmare Esports. But I got to give it up to RCC. Their economic lead, they've been keeping it. They've been applying that pressure and just taking as much as they can from Nightmare Esports.
Yeah, but no actual pressure on the objective here. Like here and there somebody takes some towers, and the invade on a blue buff, but the Lord is being farmed on the top lane. Might be a mistake by one shot, but trying to get to the Lord as soon as possible and he be able to Bruno ultimate going in. Divine Judgment into the Lilia and makes a good kill and didn't quite read that and didn't quite manage to dodge with her ultimate. Arlord jumping in, ultimate 4 people, pretty good stun on top of that, running around, healing up, barely surviving and finally being picked up by the Bruno. And seems like NIGHTMARE don't have like damage on the RCC.
Ooh, but they're gonna keep going as K-Hammy falls there as well. I mean, that was, I feel like, well executed by RCC at this point. They zoned out, got a pick on to the Lord fight, and then took down 4 of NIGHTMARE. We can kind of see a little bit of a replay here. The heavy spin came out. The Daytona was welcome to intercept that, but it wasn't enough as Weiser was able to, you know, utilize that left flank, put a lot of pressure onto NIGHTMARE Esports, and they just didn't have enough CC or stun. Weiser being aggressive here. I want to come back to what you were saying,
unnecessary aggression, huh?
Yeah, like, I mean, they have the lead. I like it. I mean, he's showing that he's a formidable foe, but we need to see something from Benz here on this minnow, right?
Yeah, mid lane is being farmed and not quite enough because of the, I guess, wider. He should be on the mid lane instead of the bot lane, but Lord is going on under
oh my.
The heavy spin-ins, counters by the Minotaur's rage, and not quite enough to defend the turret.
Yeah, not enough. Able to reach into NIGHTMARE Esports' base, and they're looking to take a little bit more, be it a pick or be it another tower. It does look like they're going to back out. Now, I like this. I mean, we've seen this from a lot of the bigger teams into the first series, is that they'll actively back out. Won't be too greedy on a Lord take like this, as they've seen. They've already taken a lot. I mean, they've cleared they cleared all of the first and second tier towers, and they breached into the base. It's now their time to clear the jungle. I do think teams need to focus on, you know, not losing it, and we can see RCC is keeping control of the upper jungle, not allowing NIGHTMARE Esports to breathe and, you know, leave the base.
Yeah, that's true, but on the other hand, I feel like NIGHTMARE Esports are not doing enough to kind of counter that. It feels for me that yes, RCC pressuring, but NIGHTMARE could kind of counter it, but they not going for it. They like backing up all the time. They not trying to make some smart counter attacks. Instead, they just letting them go and going back.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. They're just not setting up a plan or engaging on something. We can kind of see that they want to do something on the left side, and you see the TPs coming out by Castle. A little bit of maybe a fake to bring them out. A little bit of a mind game going on by Castle. Again, I feel like what you were saying, NIGHTMARE Esports has to come together, take a strategic approach at doing something in this game.
Yeah, that's true, and that's. I can feel like Minotaur is, I mean, he don't want to ult because he is thinking that Kaja gonna interrupt his ult, so he kind of playing passive at this point because of that. Wow, there's a lot of numbers popped out of Novaria here. That's a big crit, I guess, on the 3 people. And Divine Judgment comes into Barrage, right? And one shot in 2 tanks. Like, yeah, that's a farm. Like 10k gold advantage, almost 9k. And probably gonna go straight for the crystal at this point. When you can one-shot tanks, like let's see this, like half HP like bursted down, and the Minotaur is obliterated.
Yeah, it's a tough game right now for NIGHTMARE Esports. They're gonna have to turtle up and mount up a great defense. Lord did fall into the hands of RCC, and they're looking to take even more. Castle diving deep back into the back line, taking one from the side of NIGHTMARE. They're gonna have to hold and mount up a great defense here. War Barbie.
Yeah, I mean, they trying to kill. Wow, nice second skill on the Barats on the heavy spin to finish off the Panda here. Chubby Panda, not fat. And but the still attack is still going on. Bruno working on that minutes. Divine Judgment right on the face of Lilia here, and the just basic attack. Bruno is trying to get something like basically basic attack, whatever he can. Minions, heroes, crystals. Like, yeah, it's his diet.
100%. I mean, that was a great executed game by RCC, taking out Nightmare Esports into game 1. Bad plays into the mid lane, you know, when the heavy spin came out, Nightmare Esports was able to execute it. As we can see, kind of one of the turning points here as RCC is able to secure a first blood there by Troublemaker. And this was a sticky situation that I thought was a problem, because you see the middle rage and the flicker in definitely secured 2 kills for the side of Nightmare Esports, but RCC didn't give up, as we can kind of see the heavy spin coming out here onto one of the turtle takes. This was again one of the turning points. The Retry comes out by 1 shot to secure that, and then a Divine Judgment under the Brats and Castle just following up. It was great. Kind of seeing into this as well. This was into the mid to the late game. Divine Judgment after Divine Judgment coming out by Koopy, just securing so many kills. And look, this is where Nightmare kind of fell apart. They dived in. The Daytona was welcome to stop that heavy spin, but it wasn't enough, as Wiser and Troublemaker paired together were just going insane. 1 shot able to secure the Lord. Koopy it was just too nasty for Nightmare on that Lord take.
Yeah, but I feel like Nightmare Esports like doing not doing nothing. They absolutely don't know what to do with the heavy spin and the Divine Judgment, and that is the reason why they are kind of not doing anything in this game. Just backing up, scared of the ultimates.
And then you got to give it up to Troublemaker. I mean, you said to keep an eye out for him, but look at him hit almost every shot. Paired with the Divine Judgments and Wiser, they just had so much burst damage coming into this late game. Lord barreling down, and not only that, Castle controlling a lot of the left lane. Just, I think, ultimately allowed RCC to change that tide into and then bam, we see an MVP. That is, it looked like it was Troublemaker there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No,
you can kind of see some of the items. I definitely would give it to Troublemaker. Again, one of those silent spoken people in the back line that you don't really see too much, but they are sniping left and right.
Yeah,
and you can see that.
Agree.
6-0 and 9.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you. You can see like the fireworks impact, like wow, he kills, but he damage here, damage there, damage here, damage there, and like a lot of pressure because of that.
Yeah, it's all about landing those shots when you're playing a Navaria. And look at, I mean, 100% team fight participation, like well executed, 40% of his team's damage. That is crazy. That is the tank killer right there.
Yeah, and actually Kaza out damaging the Akai, but the Akai, I would give the credit to Akai. Every single ultimate worked. It was just good. All the ultimates worked. Even on the bot lane, he just ulted just to take the turret, but he baited on top of that Manon's Rage, and which is perfect, which opens up to even more pressure. And so Akai went good.